If that happens, if Banda leaves, Manny could move Stroud back to chief of staff. We bring in a guy to replace those two, and then he says, "Okay, we made changes on the defensive staff." He said that was inexcusable. Okay, we've made some changes now, but really, he just replaced Banda and Stroud. Didn't fire anyone though.
Yeah,
because Stroud was originally hired to be the chief of staff, and then that one dude.
If there's one defensive coach I keep on defense, it's Stroud.
Absolutely. I love Stroud. He can be with the program as long as he wants. I'm just saying he was originally hired to be chief of staff, and then Jess Simpson left to the Atlanta Falcons, and we slid him into that defensive line spot. So that would make sense, right? With his health problems, getting COVID. If the chief of staff spot came open again, it wouldn't surprise me if Stroud moved off of the sideline. But I worry about that. I don't want the spin from Manny this year. I don't want the spin.
I just want honesty.
Well, I don't think we're going to get it, dude.
Not from Manny.
No. And you know what? I've defended the dude all year. I'm not ready to fire him. I'll tell you what, though. If next year we hear one time the players aren't buying in, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Just one strike. He gets no chances next year.
If it's your third year and players are still not buying in, then maybe they're not buying into you. How about you think about that, Manny?
Yeah, exactly. And so if
maybe
that
they're
happens,
not buying, maybe you are not painting a clear enough picture of what you want in this program.
Exactly. Exactly. If we cannot get the kids to buy in, if I hear it once, if someone even implies that players aren't buying in, I'm done. I just am done, because that is just inexcusable.
You're not done with the podcast, right?
No, I'll still do it. Because here's the thing, and this is where I'm removing some of the blame from Manny, right? This has been a problem for 15 years. It has been a problem for 5 head coaches. It started, I don't know the exact origins, but we saw it under Larry Coker, Randy Shannon, Al Golden, Mark Richt, Manny Diaz now. Okay, so 5 coaches, over 1,000 players. I mean, think of some of the conversations that we've had from previous players that played in all of those eras. We talked to one player on this podcast who said that Larry Coker got fired because we weren't buying in. Well, he didn't say we weren't buying in. What he said was we weren't doing enough. And Coker took the blame. That was our fault. So clearly it's
imagine not doing enough at the University of Miami.
But that's what I'm saying, though. And we saw exactly how it happened with Mike Hardley's. Dude, I feel like that crazy dude, like from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, with all the red ribbon right now. The board. But
sure, I know exactly who you're talking about.
The meme. I'm even doing the hand gestures right now.
A+ reference.
Thank you.
Oh God, that's good.
But Mike Harley even said, he's like, we're not staying after practice. We're not doing this. And I've said this on multiple platforms, but I'm going to reiterate it. Okay. If you are a freshman, let's say that Romello Brinson comes in next year and he's at his first practice, practice ends and the wide receivers are leaving. And he's like, well, let's stay and do extra. And they're like, no, we don't do that. I've never done that.
Or if he's the only one doing it, him and the freshman.
How long is that going to last? Like that's the thing is that's why I'm very hesitant to say that a recruiting class will fix the culture, because how long, even if those kids have it, right? They have the moxie, they have all the words from the 1930s that are like that. Like, how long does that last before they're like, I'm really the only dude staying after practice to work harder?
How long does it last until they're content with just
exactly? And that's what I'm saying. If all of their peers are acting like that, if they're saying, no, we don't do that, we don't have to. No one's ever made us do that. No one's ever expected us to do that. No one's ever held us accountable for not doing extra, because it's my 4th year here. I'm the starter. They're not taking reps away from me, and I've never done anything extra. So what is the
Why are we posting our highlights after, like, personal highlights after the UNC game? Why are we doing that?
And by that I mean I didn't see anything. There was nothing worth posting that game, and I wish the players felt like that. I don't care. I don't care if some of them had an Odell Beckham catch or
played. If that's the last game that you played, who gives a shit about your highlights? If anybody is saying anything about your highlights after that,
dude,
that is, bro. And can I ask you something?
Yeah.
I said this on my show with Toast this morning. Cam Harris, tweets about that, how he's making a decision on January 1st, 2021. Why can't you just not tweet it? Hey, how about you don't tweet it? Why don't you just come out and make a decision? Why you don't even have, like, you don't have 600 yards? Why is your decision so goddamn important, bro? I was losing my mind when I saw that. Like, why? I don't know. Sorry, I just had to.
No, you're fine. You're
literally,
because that's the thing.
I pulled out some hair saying that.
That's the thing though. Is like
you're so like obsessed with yourself. Worry about the team. And I'm not saying, like, Jalen Phillips didn't say, hey, I'll be making a decision so and so. Ja'Marr King is not making a decision so and so.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. And I don't want to just point fingers at Cam, and I know you're not that type of dude either. But
No.
but it's
that kind of stuff.
Agreed. I just wanted to clarify that. Like, we're on the same page with that. You know, and it's like, would you post highlights from that UNC game? Because in my, like, how I grew up, you know how bad my dad would clown me if I tried to brag about what happened in a blowout loss?
Bro, even if I posted my personal highlights after a game, my dad would have said, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Dude, I can't even imagine. My dad would probably just make me go in the backyard and dig like a 12-foot hole. Like, just to let me know how big of an idiot I am. You know? He's like, why would you? I don't know, man. There's no chance.
I just didn't grow up like that. And maybe it's because I didn't. Maybe it's because I wasn't a phenomenal athlete. But that's beside the point. But still, like, I didn't grow up like that. I wasn't brought up like that. I care just so much more about what my team is doing and what the people around me who are helping me succeed are doing.
Yeah.
But I still wouldn't post highlights, because then, like, back to my a point that I made earlier in the show, that's just showing that you're kind of content.
Yeah.
Like, just stop. Just stop and worry about the damn team. And I know I'm cursing a lot on this episode, but I think you bring it out of me. I think we bring it out of each other.
Well, dude, I feel like
it's so stupid, and it's so childish, and it's so look at me.
Yeah. I feel like I've been screaming into the void this whole season. Just like a win is not a win.
No.
It's not in college football. You know why? Because 5 teams finish undefeated every year. Okay? It's not the NFL. In the NFL, a win is a win. You know why? It's because, like, tiebreakers aren't an issue because there's only 30 teams. You know what I mean? There's not a committee that selects playoff teams. It comes down to wins. Okay? So a win is a win, right? But, you know, if you're barely beating 500 teams, then you're like, why are they keeping us at 10th? Why are they putting 2 lost teams over us? All that kind of stuff. It's because a win is not a win. I will repeat.
Yeah, you wonder why we're not rising in the playoff rankings? You want to bitch and moan about this? That's why.
A win is not a win. If you are barely beating a 5-6 team by 1 point, guess what? Nobody cares. Nobody's impressed. Nobody's going to pat you on the back. Nobody wants to see your highlights. They're 5-6. Don't pretend like you're going to get into the playoff if you're beating a bunch of 5-6 teams barely.
And don't say disrespect when the playoff rankings still have you at 9 or 10 and then you give up 62. Okay. Okay. Can we move to a positive side? I think I'm about to have an aneurysm.
Dude, honestly, every 3 days I've just had like mood swings, and I'll just start ranting about this since the UNC game. That was embarrassing, dude. Yeah, we can switch it up, but I'm so frustrated, and I'm
and I don't blame you one iota. Anybody who wasn't disgusted and wanted to go vomit after that game, you're a loser.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you're and all the fans that were patty caking this and saying, "Oh, don't be so negative." You know what? That's the reason that this program has fallen to the depths of hell. Not that we're in the depths of hell, but before this, you guys are the reason because you are so content with saying, "Oh, don't be so negative. You know, we'll get them next game." When we don't get them next game, and you're so just it just makes me so angry.
Here's the thing. Here's my last thing, okay? And it's on being content. And I want to give you two names, okay? Mark Richt and Bronco Mendenhall. Those are two coaches who got fired because they only went 10-2 every year. Okay? So if you can't look in the mirror and say, I demand more excellence than BYU and University of Georgia, that's where you are as a fan.
Yeah.
Okay? Because Bronco Mendenhall went 10-2 every year. Mark Richt went 10-2 every year. Okay? And they got fired for it.
My last point is, hey, Manny, if you don't get a new defensive coordinator, you have fun joining Blake Baker on the unemployment line in the future.
Yeah. So
okay, but anywho, Jake Garcia is a Miami Hurricane.
Yes. Kudos to you, Marshall. I'm glad that you got a lot of love for that. That made me smile, man, because you know it's.
That was kind of. I won't lie, and I'm not like I don't want to put it out there that I'm the kind of guy that I like the clout or whatever, but that I won't lie.
It had to feel good.
That was really cool,
dude. And you know what? Like, I'm glad you got some because, like, clearly, you know, you and Endo Canes. Shout out to our guy. Or Endo Gaines. Cole.
One of my favorite people on Twitter and in the Canes fam.
Yes, very good dude. So you and him got that started, and clearly it did something. Like, I don't care what anyone says, they cannot say that didn't help because Jake Garcia reposted that, he reposted you, and now he's using the Tristan Lee to the you hashtag. So clearly it did something, right? So I'm glad. I'm really glad that you got the notoriety from doing that because clearly it was a thing.
Yeah, I mean it was it took a while, man. It ended up until the last hour of early signing day, and but it felt really good, and it was really cool to see the reaction. I have a GIF now, which is dope. that my boy Canes Cartel made, so shout out. But yeah, it was just really cool, and you could tell that Jake is really, really excited to be a Miami Hurricane, and all the love that he got was awesome. But also besides him, I mean, James Williams, Leonard Taylor, Romello Brinson, all these guys are Miami, like they are going to be on Green Tree in a matter of depending on who's in early enrollee, in a matter of a few weeks.
Yeah.
That is so crazy. And to the 2021 class, make your own chapter. Like,
yes, please.
Make this your team, create your culture that you envision for the U. Don't go off of what guys in the 80s, guys in the early 2000s did. Make it your team. And let's bring this shit back, okay?
Yes. And you know, my message to those kids, and well, first of all, I shoot it straight. I have been ranting and being negative for the first 43 minutes of this podcast. But I will say, what a friggin' class. I am so happy with it. Like, I gave it, if we would have gotten a cornerback, I would have given it an A+. I gave it an A-. It's amazing. 2 5-stars. That hasn't happened in a long time. You know, we got our QB. So happy with it. But to echo what you're saying, in like write a new chapter, I just want to share the story, who gave it to us. I think